Buff Army, what's cracking? Today, I'm going to answer a pretty big question: how should you train? And the answer to that question depends upon your goal. You see, I'm going to give two big examples today, two diametrically opposed ideas. The athlete who cares about performance and the bodybuilder who just wants to look good, get as huge as possible. With these two examples, you'll understand quite clearly how your training should reflect your goal. And I know what you're going to say. You know, Chef Buff, I'm neither an athlete or a bodybuilder. Most people are a combination, right? They'll lean maybe a little bit more towards being a bodybuilder or a little bit more towards being an athlete. No one's 100% bodybuilder except for a bodybuilder. No one's 100% athlete except a professional athlete. I'll say for myself, that's why my overarching goal or my theme in my training is athletic aesthetic. To look really good, but to perform better. So perhaps in my training and what I care about, I'm a little bit more onto the athletic side. But by explaining the differences, you'll better be able to understand how you should train. Now, this sexy chart will explain everything. And I stole it from Dr. Clay Height. My opinion, still from the best. So right here, we're going to go over each of the categories and what separates them. So I already said, an athlete cares about performance, right? How much weight they can lift. So an athlete's a power lifter, an Olympic lifter, a sprinter, a running back, a gymnast. Those are great examples. They care about performance. How fast they can lift the weight, how much weight they can lift, what power they can exert. Remember, power is a function essentially of speed and strength. So they care about performing well. In contrast, a bodybuilder just wants to look good, right? They want the striated glutes, they want massive quads, decked deltoids, they want to get really big and really lean. Now that we know their goals, let's take a look, bam, at their core concept. What is their core training principle? And if you look at a bodybuilder, really, it's about accumulating localized fatigue, stimulating muscles. If we want to stimulate muscles, we're primarily looking at time under tension, which means how long is that muscle being stimulated and what type of tension, how much tension, what's the intensity, how much weight are you lifting. In contrast, for the athlete, it's all about motor unit recruitment, the central nervous system, being able to fire efficiently. Remember, you got muscle fibers and your brain sends the signal to fire those muscle fibers. So they want to become efficient with what they have. They want to run faster, they want to lift more weight. So it's all about the nervous system. Okay, we get the core concept. The athlete cares about movement. So, you know, doing a squat, doing a deadlift, things that resemble their actual discipline. So a football player will do a whole lot of squatting. A bodybuilder, on the other hand, cares about muscles. They care about stimulating a muscle. So they're less interested about a movement, locking out in that movement, as they are in stimulating that muscle during that exercise. Some quick differences you will note. For instance, if we look at the athlete, by and large, right, generalizations, how does the rep look? What's the rep speed? Well, athletes always care about acceleration. Even if they're lifting a maximal load, they're trying to accelerate it as fast as possible. The concentric, the lifting up portion off of the bench press, is their most important part. They try not to emphasize, by and large, the eccentric portion because it's quite draining on the central nervous system. In contrast, bodybuilder, all about, as I said before, stimulating a muscle. So the rep speed will be dictated by trying to feel that muscle. By and large, that means their reps are far more controlled. They emphasize the eccentric, so they'll control it slow on the way down, and their tempo on the way up won't be quite as explosive. Moving on then to load. How heavy do they lift the weight? For an athlete, they'll always try and lift as heavy of a load as possible and accelerate it extremely fast. Contrast that with a bodybuilder once again, and it depends. It's stimulation dependent, right? It depends on where in their exercise routine that exercise falls under. So they'll use far less weight. It's more about getting that time under tension. So they might go heavy for a couple sets, but if they're not feeling their chest when they are doing a bench press, then they'll change up the exercise. Again, looking at where their mental focus is on, and this is the real important point, for bodybuilders, on the muscle. They want that muscle to grow. That's all they care about. The load, the speed of the rep, they're all just variables used to stimulate that muscular growth. The athlete cares about the outcome, the performance. They want to squat 600 pounds. If you don't squat your 600 pounds as a powerlifter, it's a fail. They care about the outcome, the performance, the movement. Stimulating a muscle isn't as important. This right here really explains a whole lot. That's why you'll see intense internet debates raging on about the best training methodology. And I don't think there truly is one that's universal. I think it depends upon the individual. Most guys are a combination. They want to be a combination. Unless you're 16 and you just want to get biceps and press girls, most people want to be a combination, you know, to be strong, to be muscular, to be lean, and to be able to do something with that body. In the future, I will be making a video on how to combine both of these goals, a hybrid, so athletic aesthetic, effectively. Chef Buff Army, that is the video. This explains why different people train different ways and why most of us are really a combination of the two. Thank you, as always, for watching my videos. If you like the video, make sure to like the video. And if you're not a subscriber, fuck you waiting for? Buff Army, my zealous army, I will be seeing all you guys in the next video. Peace. Last but not least, I just wanted to say quickly, I got 2 new t-shirt designs up on the t-shirt store. The Alpha as Fuck sold out. The first run, the second run. Now I got a third alternate color, blue and white. And make sure to check out the black and gold. Available for pre-sale. They'll probably sell out relatively soon. And now I got a cool new design, a squat design. Go ATG. It's offensive, it's in your face, squat low. It has a whole bunch of cues written over it, such as rise, hip drive. It's pretty much now my favorite of my shirt designs. So if you're interested, available for pre-sale up on the website. Out.